If you're neurodivergent like me, chances are you've spent a lot of your life guarding yourself against other people because you fear, with good cause, that they can't hold your complexity. Many neurodivergent people, autistics and ADHDers, have co-occurring challenges. For example, I have sensory differences, I have motor skill differences, I struggle with math, I have executive dysfunction, and then I have hypermobile spectrum disorder, which is a very common co-occurring challenge among our population, and it comes with its own myriad problems, such as POTS, post-orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, MCAD, mast cell activation disorder, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And I tick the boxes for all of these. And then there are associated mental health challenges like generalized anxiety disorder or depressive disorders, which many of us experience. And because these cluster and co-occur, we are often a basket of complications that neurotypical ableist society doesn't want to deal with. And it conveys the message that we are too complicated, that we're too needy, that we're too much, that we are dysfunctional, that there's something wrong with us, that we're defective, because they hold up this vaunted standard of what it means to be able-minded or able-bodied. And it's a standard that we just can't inherently meet. It's not a question of choice. It's a question of the bodies and the minds that we're born into. Now, while we don't want to reject what we inherently are, and that there is a need for self-compassion and self-love, we can also recognize that these challenges are very real, and a lot of these challenges aren't desirable, and a lot of these challenges are inherent in our biology and psychology, and also they're inherent in our society in the lack of accommodations and adjustments that are made by mainstream neurotypical society for us. And in the absence of these accommodations, and in the absence of understanding and empathy, what do? If we're constantly being told that we're defective, that there's something wrong with us, that we're too needy, we shut down and we guard ourselves. We hide the complications, we brush it under the carpet, and we smile and we mask, camouflage, and we compensate for them as best we can without always telling people why we're doing this, because we don't want to go through the emotional and cognitive labor of explaining to people our complications and then being invalidated in some way by their responses, or people just not getting it, not fully understanding the depth of our struggle. And it does feel often like it's too much to expect a casual acquaintance to understand our complexity, to understand all these acronyms, to understand us as alphabet supers. That's a term I use to describe those of us with multiple diagnoses and co-occurring challenges in the form of acronyms. Sort of like an alphabet soup. There's a whole bunch of letters in there, often in conjunction with each other in alignment. And because of our nature as alphabet supers, we know that it's just too much for the average person to wrap their head around. But this shrinking, this hiding, this overcompensating is exhausting work in and of itself. And most of us wish that we didn't have to do this, that we could be our authentic selves, that we could reveal our struggle without being judged or fearing being excluded or being seen as too much. Have you spent a lot of your life hiding your complexity as a neurodivergent person with many co-occurring challenges? Has it been for you because you've internalized a lot of ableism, feeling that you're going to be too much, or you're feeling like you're inferior or somehow inherently bad, that you've chosen to be difficult or to have these challenges? I would love to hear all about your experiences.